Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Wednesday night Loving Kindness Meditation here with the Dharma Bum Temple. My name is Alex. Wonderful to be here with you this evening, as always. Put a little welcome message in the chat box there for you. This is if you're new, this is a meditation. We're going to have a meditation on loving kindness. If there is anybody new, say hello. Say hello in the chat box. Just, tell us your name and, where you're logging in from. I would love to hear it. If you're not new, do the same thing. You know the drill, guys. Say hi. I would love to hear from you and see how you're doing and whether you're doing great, whether you're doing not so great. Things are rolling and vaccines are going out and people are getting vaccinated. Which is really good. I go in for mine like next week. I'm really happy about that. And so anyway, things are shaping up, and that's some good news. But we can always still use some loving kindness. Hi, Jean. Good to see you as always. Hi, Tamara. Okay. While some more people say hi, and I'll acknowledge you in a little bit here. Hi, Eric. And no one is saying that they're new. That's okay. Good evening, Larissa. Hi, Bill. Oh, I'm sorry that you're in a lot of pain tonight. I'm glad you're looking forward to this. So what we're going to do, hi, Lisa. Here's what we're going to do. So since nobody is new, I don't have to describe metta to you, right? Physical pain. That's kind of what I gathered, Bill. Yeah. But I'm glad you actually specified. That was in case I was wrong. All right. So what I would like to do is I would like to read the Metta Sutta to you. Here. All right. And for some reason, I like to hold paper. I know a lot of times like when I'm in class, like when we have in-person classes, I'm reading from my phone or something like that. But there's something about that I'm not terribly fond of. And maybe it's just because it's electronic and I don't have a piece of paper in my hand, like that tactile feeling of the paper that I really enjoy. But now I have it. So let's go read the Metta Sutta, which says, "This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud or demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove, wishing, in gladness and in safety, may all beings be at ease. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short, or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another. Even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child, so with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, freed from hatred and ill will, whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness, one should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding. By not holding the fixed views, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is not born again into this world." And it's like a soothing balm. Every time I read that, I love it. I love it. I still love it. And it's such a beautiful way not to only think about, when we're meditating, but also to think about when we're just kind of living our lives, because that's what this meditation is for. It's for, it's for, when we do our seated practice, and when we do our living practice as well. So wonderful things to think about. Um, and it says here, radiating kindness over the entire world. And with that one line, I think that's the line that, and I forget the monk who talked about it, maybe Ajahn Amaro or something like that. I can't exactly, or Ajahn Brahm. I can't exactly remember who it was. That's why they said, normally we chant phrases, may you be happy, may you be safe, may you be, all these different types of things. And, he says, just radiate loving kindness, and he's picking out that phrase in the Metta Sutta to kind of, back up that instruction. And so I heard that and I said, well, that's really good too. And that's a really wonderful alternative. Like if you don't like phrases or things like that, because sometimes phrases can sound kind of cold and a bit kind of unfeeling, especially since you can't always feel it in your heart, especially if you're doing it to, maybe a neutral person or even an enemy, or even even for yourself. You can't always just kind of feel what you're saying. And so I like this idea of just radiating. Just radiating. That's all you have to do. You can say phrases if you want, and I'm certainly going to give you that option to do that. But just radiate, and it's another way to just make it easier. Make this meditation easier. Make this meditation more accessible. Whether you're in some mental or emotional anguish, or whether you're even in physical pain, you want this meditation to be accessible and easily doable. Because if it's not, it's just going to exacerbate anything else that you're kind of going through at the moment. Right. So let's see. No one else said anything. Is that all we have? Okay, that's all right. Ooh, boy. Okay. So here we are. I'm going to fix my hair because it's almost time to comb. So that means it's almost time for a haircut. If there aren't any other questions or any comments before we start. Excuse me. All righty. Let's do this, guys. So just allow your eyes to close. Making sure you're stable and comfortable in your seated position. So let's just start to pay gentle attention to the breath at first. Not forcing the breath, letting it be quite easy and quite natural. Getting settled into the breath, letting go of all the cares that you have in the world, just for a little bit. Being diligent, ardent, and alert in paying attention to the breath. If you fall away from it, just say thinking and come back to the breath. Just that act of saying thinking will snap the mind back to the present moment, even if it's just for a second. And notice when your mind comes back to the present, how much happier it is there. And so we train our mind to come back to the place where it's happiest, where it's most at peace and at ease. If you have any physical pain, you can just breathe into that as much as you can. So, just for the next few moments, just rest as gently as you can in the sensations of the breath. So now to begin our practice of metta, unconditional friendliness and goodwill, we're going to start with a benefactor. And a benefactor is anyone who has shown us great love and great kindness, someone it's really easy to do this practice for. You just think of this person and your heart gets bigger and warmer and a smile comes across your face and wonderful memories of what they've meant to you and the things that they've done for you that have brought you so much joy. And your job only is to radiate kindness to them in however you understand that word. You radiate kindness, wishing them good health and being free from danger and love, and that they do the things that cause happiness. So for the next few moments, we'll do this practice of loving kindness for our benefactor. And shifting our focus just a little bit from doing this practice for our benefactor to now just imagining our benefactor doing this practice for us. And you can picture your benefactor in your mind's eye. And you can just imagine them radiating loving kindness to you, and your only job is just to receive this. If you have any difficulty, you can put your hand over your heart to perhaps facilitate this transfer of loving kindness from your benefactor to yourself. And if you feel any resistance, that's okay. Many times that's perfectly normal. Can you then breathe into that and loosen and soften, letting more of that loving kindness into your own heart? And smiling helps too. So for the next few moments, we'll just do this practice of loving kindness, imagining our benefactor doing this practice for us. And shifting our focus again to now just doing this practice of loving kindness for ourselves, probably the most important part of this meditation. And you can do this by either repeating phrases, which you can do, or just directing this or radiating this loving kindness back into your own heart. You can imagine your heart getting bigger and warmer and just wishing yourself so much loving kindness. And so for the next few moments, we'll do this practice of loving kindness for ourselves. And finally, it's a lot of loving kindness. And now we can explore this limitless quality of the heart by doing this practice of loving kindness for all beings in all directions. Like it says in the sutra, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, freed from hatred and ill will. Just go as far out as you can. And we'll do that to end our practice. Just open your eyes when you're ready. And let's just take the next 45 seconds out in silence as you stretch your arms and you stretch your legs, keeping that mindfulness of loving kindness about you. If you have a question or a comment about anything in the meditation, you can type it in the chat box and we'll talk about it in the discussion section, or you can just sit and chill out. So I don't know if you heard that dog howling, but I certainly heard it. It's my downstairs neighbor, their dog Roman, who is a very odd Doberman, very sweet, which is a strange kind of dog. Even though there's someone down there with him, he loves to just howl and howl and howl like he's not upset or anything like that. And I asked the owner, what it is, and I think she said that he thinks maybe he smells like coyotes or something like that. Because I do love kind of on the side of a hill where it's probably coyotes like hang out and stuff like that. Because there are a lot of dogs in this complex, like a ton of dogs. I'm one of the very few people that doesn't have an animal. But anyway, that was our meditation. As always, it was good for me. Doesn't always have to be good for you. But I'm always curious to know, and this kind of helps me too, because I can't see you. How was that meditation? I mean, or what was your experience of that meditation? So you can talk about that. You can talk about kind of things that are going on with you in general, or that, like, I know Bill said that he was in a lot of physical pain, and so I'd be interested to know, Bill, are you doing any better? You don't have to be. That's okay. It's not a problem. Whether any part of the meditation was easier for you or more difficult for you, all of those things are fine. All of those things are just what your experience is. And there's no judgment on your experience. Your experience is just your experience, right? So, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it a little bit. So, couple comments. Awesome already. I love it. I was stingy with the loving kindness tonight. I hear you, sister. I kept most of it for myself. I'm struggling with a big decision. Any guidance on the most skillful way to view problems? And, it's actually not stingy to do most of your loving kindness for yourself. It's actually a really good and healthy thing to do. And I think, a lot of times for people here in our own culture, that and I've said this before, I think if, for a lot, not, I don't even know if it's most people, but for a lot of people that I come across, that if the only thing you did was loving kindness meditation for yourself for like 10 years, that'd be fine. Of course, you can like mix in other things, obviously, but like one of the main things you did is just loving kindness for yourself, your life would change by leaps and bounds, undoubtedly. There have been plenty of times where I did an entire hour of loving kindness just for me. Just for me. I had my mala beads and I would like go around the mala beads like several times, just doing loving kindness for myself. I would do the phrases because it was just easy. It gave me kind of something to do, and so it kept my mind focused just by saying, "May I be happy, may I be happy," or very similar sayings to that. Only for me, not for anybody else. just for me. And at the end of it, at the end of that hour, oh boy, did I feel better. It really, really helped me. And so Marisa, to the second part of your question on, big life decisions, um, you know, I think most of the time you already have the answer. You already know what the answer is. It's just, clouded by all of this mud and muck that's going on in your mind. And a lot of times, a good thing to do is, go into meditation, ask the question. Before you start meditating, ask the question, what should I do about this thing, this event, this life situation? Or should I do this? Or what should I do? Or something like that. And then you vow not to even think about it in meditation. And you can meditate for an hour, half hour, however long, you do it for. Just doing basic mindfulness. You can just do nothing but loving kindness, whatever it is that you want to do, doesn't matter. And then at the end of the meditation, while you're sitting there in silence, gently ask yourself the same question and see what comes to mind and see what happens. See what your heart tells you to do. And so I think that's a really, really, really good thing to do. And I suggest that a lot. And so that might be something really, really good for you. And Bill said, I felt more emotionally connected with my benefactor because I know she would have compassion about my pain. And that's how you do it. That is exactly how you do this kind of meditation, or this part of the meditation about your benefactor. Your benefactor has been there for you. They've provided, some loving care and guidance that's meant so much to you. So that experience of their loving kindness is already there in your heart. And the only thing that you have to do is just reconnect with that. Reconnect at that and give them the loving kindness and imagine them giving it back to you. And it should be really, really easy because they've already meant so much to you. So the fact that you can just allow that in and be more emotionally connected because you already know that she would have compassion for you and that she has compassion for you. And you can feel that compassion just kind of ease your heart a little bit and ease the pain as you said it would do. That's excellent. That's quite skillful. And, great job, Bill. And I'm sorry you're in a lot of pain, but I'm very happy that, this worked out for you. Roman, yeah, Jane, Roman's a trip. He's a big dog. He's a bit skittish though, and is interesting. And he just started doing this howling like a month ago. He didn't used to do it before, And then all of a sudden, like howling and howling, howling. And I go ask my neighbor, Nicole, what's going on with Roman? She goes, oh, is it bothering you? I said, no, it's not bothering me. But, do you know what's going on with him? He goes, I don't know what's going on with him. He's a weird dog. I think it's just he's smelling the coyotes or something like that. I said, oh, maybe. Who knows? I love him, though. It's a great dog. So Lisa asks, can you explain the significance of beads you used in the meditation you described? Just curious. Well, they're just mala beads. Hopefully you've heard or seen mala beads before, and they're not new to spiritual practice. They function in a very similar way that like the Catholic Rosary does. It just keeps your mind centered on what you're doing. So you in like the Catholic tradition, you say like Hail Marys, all those prayers, and that's a short prayer. And so when you're done, you just move to the next bead, right? And you just do that rosary. You do it for the whole rosary. And mala beads are the same way. Mala beads, the big mala beads are usually 108 through 108 beads. And then you've seen the smaller ones on the wrist. Don't know exactly how many beads that is, 27 or something like that. I can't remember exactly. Um, but so every time you say, may I be happy, you can either do it every time you say, may I be happy, or you can do it like if you say 3 or 4 phrases of loving kindness, like, may I be happy, may I be safe, may I be healthy. And every time you go through one round of those, you flick one bead and you go to the next one, and then you go to the next one, and then when you go to the next one, and it's really, really helpful because it keeps you focused because you're doing something, and so it keeps your mind focused on doing that one thing, and going to the next beat and to the next beat, and once you go through all 108, and that's just kind of one round, right? So um, it's a wonderful way to meditate, like, and you can even do loving kindness that way. For each stage of the loving kindness, you can just do, instead of worrying about time, you can just do one round of the mala beads, or 2 or 3 or 4, or however you want to do it. And it really does keep your mind focused, and it really is beneficial. I highly I highly recommend that if you can do that. And you can get them anywhere. I mean, there is I don't know where you live, Lisa, but one of my favorite places, and I haven't been there actually in quite a long time, and I even forget the name of it. It's on Adams, and maybe somebody can like um, tell me what the name of it. It's Tibet Gift House. So Tibet Gift House is on Adams Avenue. It's right near like Adams and 30th. Like Adams in like Kansas or something like that. It's just called Tibet Gift House. It's like a little house, and the guy there, his name is Jampa, and Jampa is awesome. Jampa is so awesome, and you can get beads there. And sometimes there's a monk there, a Tibetan Buddhist monk who's visiting, and he'll bless them for you. Or if not there's plenty of other places you can get them. So yeah, check them out. Absolutely. Maybe Roma's just singing. Could be. Gene, you very well be. You might very well be right with that. He could just be singing and just love the sound of his own voice. Yeah, absolutely. There is this store called Buddha for You. Yeah, it's new, I think. New, yeah. There's a guy there. I forget his name, but yeah, he's. I think they sell those there. I'm not really sure though. Probably starts with a J, something like that. Jeff, Joe, John. I don't know. There's so many now. Yeah, thanks, Eric, for that. I don't know why I didn't say that first. Oh, they do have them. Oh, thanks, Marisa. Thank you. Maybe Jeff. He would hate that. Ask him to bless the beads. You go, what the hell are you talking about? All right, good. So yeah, definitely Buddha for You or Tibet Gift House. They're both great. It's interesting that for Lisa's question about mala beads, that more people haven't heard of them, and a while ago, I can't remember, somebody asked a similar question, like, what are mala beads? Or I would bring up the subject of mala beads, and I said, oh, have you heard of that? And we'll go, no, I haven't heard of that. And so that's interesting. Yeah, absolutely. So again, they're not new to spiritual practice, or they're just not for Buddhism. So Catholics have been doing that for millennia. Um, and actually, I don't know when the Buddhists started that. I'm not really sure. Or maybe it started in the Hindu culture and it kind of moved to Buddhism. Um, who knows? Buddhism almost died, or pretty much died in India, and the Buddha was enveloped in the Hindu pantheon of gods. So the Hindus love the Buddha. They know all about him. But or maybe it was a Tibetan thing, or honestly, I don't know. If somebody could tell me the origin of that from Allah, that'd be awesome. You could research that and let me know. There's so much to know historically about Buddhism and Buddhist practice. So, yeah. All right. Got a few minutes left. Would love, if you have any other questions, any other comments, I would absolutely love to hear them. And I'll wait for a few seconds. It's okay. You know what would be interesting to know? And that would be really, if you could tell me and just everyone just chime in, is that when you're at home, are you seated in a chair? Are you seated on a bed? Are you seated on like a meditation like cushion on the floor? Are you lying down? Um, so when you're at home, how are you consuming this this meditate or doing this meditation and doing this class? I'd be interested because I always I kind of assume things, but you can't always assume things. So I'd really like to know how you watch this and how you meditate when you're meditating here, on YouTube. So Gene says, a chair with cats in lap. Oh, that must be awesome. Tamara says seated on a chair but cross-legged. Nice. And Eric said, for this class, I'm on the couch. During the meditation, I scooch up and sit upright. Awesome. Lisa, I'm on my couch with a pillow behind my back to stay upright. And Bill, I was on the bed before. I had my office back. Now that I have an office again, I'm using my desk for the time we chat and a comfortable reading chair for the meditation. Nice. And Marisa, sometimes on my cushion or bench, but lately on a cushion on the couch. Awesome. I am at my my dining room table. So it's my dining room table. There's all stuff on it. There's a kitchen there's my kitchen like right there, right ahead of me that I'm looking at. I have shorts on this time. Did you see that? This is like the first time in almost like forever that I haven't worn my pajamas, because even though you can't see them because of how this class is filmed, I almost always have my pajamas on. And all those pajamas I wore when I did the class from the temple. Yeah, so I still wear them even though I do it from my home, except for tonight. I just forgot for some reason. That's actually the first time I forgot. Good. Change it up. I love it. Eric, I'm reclined and watching on my big screen. Wow, I'm on TV. Awesome. I've never been. I have been on TV, but all right. Okay. Well, thank you. It's really helpful. And again, it doesn't matter where you are. It's just where you are is where you are. I was just really, really curious. All right, guys. Thank you guys for this class, for engaging in this practice with me. And I love doing it. And I love that you're here. Thank you so much for Thank you so much for coming. Let's join our palms together at our hearts, please. And may the benefits of this meditation, this discussion, be received by all beings. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings be at ease. May all beings be joyful and at ease. May all beings be happy. May all beings be loved and seen for the beautiful, radiant beings that they are, that you are. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Marisa. Thank you, everybody, and good night. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye now.